Welcome to The Clean Slate with your hosts, Daniel Garza and Carson Phillips, providing you with movie news, reviews, and more. Sit back, relax, and don't forget to go to the concessions to get your popcorn and drinks. For your entertainment, this is The Clean Slate Podcast.
Welcome back to the Clean Slate Podcast. I'm Carson Phillips. That's Daniel Garza. And today we are kicking off June. And June was originally going to be Murder May, and now it's Murder June. So we have a series of films about murders. And these are going to be kind of different genres overall. Kind of an interesting set of films. And to start it all off, we have a French film called Red Rooms. I believe it's French. Anyways, this movie came out last year. It is more of a thriller than a horror film, but it's on Shudder, so if you're, one of those people, you have access to it.
Yeah, AMC Plus also. Okay, guys, so here is the log line for Red Rooms. A model becomes obsessed with a high-profile murder trial.
Is that the whole log line?
That is it.
I mean, that is the movie, I guess, but that's the movie. That really
here's
is
the deal.
movie.
I don't remember picking this movie because I don't remember reading that long log line. Well, let me see. If I look long line,
more like a short line.
I wonder if I type it in on Google, because
I think
kind of where we
you
find our things.
looked it up and saw that it had a high Rotten Tomatoes score, and you were like, "Oh, this looks good," and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Oh, yeah,
I wouldn't have picked this.
Okay, well, first of all, it's got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.1 on IMDb, and 4.8 on Letterboxd.
That's pretty good.
I'm just kidding. The 4.8 is not from Letterboxd. It's from Vinegar Syndrome, which I've never heard of that in my entire life.
Did they buy it? Are they releasing it on Blu-ray?
Oh, I don't know.
Why
would I know that?
A little knowledge drop for you nerds out there that don't know this yet. Vinegar Syndrome is a Blu-ray distribution company that specializes in cult and horror films and just weird stuff, niche stuff. So, for all you sickos and weirdos out there, it's the Blu-ray company for you. And what Vinegar Syndrome is what happens to film that's older gets this process called Vinegar Syndrome, where the film is no longer usable unless you preserve it and do all this other stuff. So that's what they save movies that are literally deteriorating. All right. I'll explain a little bit of plot for this one. So this movie, I mean, the logline is accurate. There is this model, and she is attending the trial. She's not on the jury or anything. She's just part of the public that can go and wait in line to go watch. And this guy is alleged he had a streaming service where people could pay to have young women or girls, in this case, killed and tortured in horrible ways. And there's 2 videos and 3 victims. One of the videos is not quite available yet. And so she shows up every day to the trial and eventually becomes besties with this girl that has massive eyeballs and kind of looks like Rami Malek.
It's my joke, by the way. I told him that before we started recording.
No, you didn't, dude. Anyways, so they become best friends and become more and more obsessed with this guy. The one friend thinks that maybe he's innocent, while our lead, I think, has other motives that are a little bit more gray that we might not really know what her intentions are. And then things get kind of crazy towards the end, for sure. There's some craziness. I don't want to spoil completely, but let's get into some likes.
Man, this movie it's a French film. So for all you foreigners, foreign movie lovers,
just that was bad.
All right, guys. So this movie is a French film. So for all you foreign movie lovers,
I'm 20% French. Did you know that?
I didn't.
That's why I'm a snob.
Anyway, I hate you so much. So we didn't know that going into this, and then we found out, and I wanted to quickly divert, but Carson said, "No, it's cool. Let's watch it." And I was like, "Dang it, okay." So, however, I
was already halfway through at that point. I was like, "I'm committed."
I'm very glad we decided to keep watching this because I actually really, really liked this film. I would say it's an hour and a half long, and it feels very long. I felt like
It
I was
feels like
watching
3
a
hours. It
yeah.
felt
I felt like
just
I was
as
watching
long
a
as
2.5,
Cape Fear.
3 hour, and that might be because of the language barrier, or it could be just because it is like a lot more dialogue heavy than like action heavy. So and a lot of it takes, not a lot of it, but it's like a courtroom, in a French courtroom.
It's literally a courtroom film almost completely.
Yeah.
They wear the
So
wigs
anyway-
and stuff too, which is cool.
Yeah. So, first of all, likes, I think the acting is phenomenal in this. It's really creepy. It feels really eerie. I would say that, like, it feels like such a darker, like, so much more of a dark movie than it actually is. I mean, it is very dark. Like, the content is horrifying and horrible. But it feels like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it should carry that heaviness to it, but it does. And they play a lot of cool, like, especially with her being a model, they play a lot of cool, like, lighting
Artsy,
and coloring.
fartsy scenes.
Yeah, exactly like that. And but then you get your plain scenes, which is like her living her life, her going to play squash, and her just like kind of like being interested in this trial. So with that being said, I think it's a great story. Very different. Again, it's another kind of different film that I think that's why it kind of attached me
unique,
to it,
for
because you don't really know which side the main character leads. Like at first I was like, is the main character even the main character? Because we're like focused on her friend there for a minute. French Rami Malek. And and then you just, if you can stay along for the ride, it has a pretty cool payoff. And yeah, I think it was just kind of a smart film in general.
Yeah, I agree with.
I got you,
sorry,
Mitty.
I have a mint in my mouth, you know.
Mid-chew, York.
Sponsored by Trader Joe's green tea mints.
Look at that.
Better than cocaine. Can you say coke? I'll just leave it. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, just leave it. It's fine.
Okay.
Sorry. Let me get my train of thought back. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think this movie was a little bit surprising. I don't know what I was expecting. And, you know, I think I mentioned earlier that I thought of this as a thriller, and now upon reflecting, it's not really a thriller. It's more of a character study in a lot of ways. So exploring this main character's like psychology and like what she thinks about the case. And we don't really know fully, even in the end, what her intentions were or why she was so obsessed. But I think what is cool to me is they're kind of analyzing the whole true crime obsession that people have. Like,
Yeah.
I felt called out even watching this.
I know.
Like there's like a certain
Shout out
level
to our episode
of
2 weeks ago.
there's a certain like level of obsession people can get with these cases that are happening. Like I've been listening to coverage of like the Diddy trial for like a long time now. Like every time there's a new update, I'm like,
Every time we talk, he's like, "Did you hear about this in the Diddy trial?" I'm like,
Bro.
"No."
I'm invested, dude. I'm gonna dress up like someone to get Diddy's attention. But anyways, that's a spoiler for this movie. But yeah, so I think that's an interesting topic worth investigating. So I think they handle that really well. And then also the whole red rooms, like internet secretiveness is always captivating. And I think this movie handled it in a much more mature way than other films we've seen. Like one of the Unfriended sequel does it in a dumb way. This does it in a really smart way. And again, like Daniel was saying, the performances are great. The visuals are great as well. Pretty like subtle, I think, in the camera work, but I enjoyed it.
I thought the camera work was actually really great. It has some subtlety, and it's it's really cool. I think I love the way that they use like screens, and blues, and things like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say like the stuff just in her office, like when she's on the computer, looks really good. And then like you said, the modeling stuff of like the weird lights and costumes look kind of unsettling, but in a cool way.
But it almost is like kind of like talking about the deeper, darker secret of her, and it kind of like without saying it, it's telling you more about her and why she's like this.
Definitely show in that sense, but also you were talking about how this movie feels more disturbing than it should, and I think how they're able to achieve that is we don't see the movie has no violence really. It's the suggestion, I think, of violence. Like there's a scene where she gets kicked out of court and she can't see the video of what's happening to these girls because they play it for the court. But in the back or in the foreground, literally the mom comes running out of one of the victims, and she's like panicked, and you can see the actress for that does a good job. Like her face is like flushed, and she's like disturbed, and then you see a dude like literally pass out in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And so you see like the reaction to it, which almost makes it worse. And then later when they spoiler, I guess, when they're able to download the footage and watch it, her and the friend, the Rami Malek, female version has a crazy reaction to this, and it's very grounded, and like her like wanting to just not have anything to do with this anymore. I think shows you just how disturbing it was. So I think they did a really good job with that, and that makes the movie feel really heavy and crazy, and yeah. Also, the main actress does a great job too, especially when she does some shenanigans in court. Utterly disturbing for whatever reason.
So, to talk about that, this might be a spoiler alert, guys. So if you want to go watch the movie, go watch the movie. But you kind of just made me think of something. So,
all right, let's hear it.
You said that she does all these things to dress up and get the attention of the killer, the alleged killer.
Yeah.
It kind of
me getting Diddy's attention.
Exactly. Female Rami Malek at the end of the movie says that she was wrong. She was like, I wanted to defend him, and there was something about him that I just like. I thought he was innocent. I kind of fell in love with him. Yeah, and it's almost like the Rami Malek. I mean, her name's Clementine. So we can get appropriate. Clementine and Kellyanne. Kellyanne's our main character.
This poor actress.
They almost are like the same, but polar opposites. So, like, she likes him because he's innocent. Clementine does. And Kellyanne likes him because he's got that, like... It's kind of the same thing of, like, when... I just saw something that, like...
There's, like, something attractive about the darkness.
People are drawn to that darkness. And because they do the same thing. Like, one's trying to get attention and saying he's innocent. Yeah. The other one's trying to get attention by dressing up as one of the victims in the courtroom, which is super disturbing.
Like, the thing with true crime... We always want to hear about these sick people, right? Like, we're captivated by, like, what could happen in that human's brain to make them this way. Like, and it's kind of bad because a lot of people end up, like, hero worshiping these horrible, horrible people. Even with, like, mass shootings, like Columbine, there's, like, people that are like, yeah, those guys are hot. They're cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that kind of thing going on. Not quite, but almost. As far as, like, themes go and exploring, like, fandom, I guess. Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Okay, well, there is a few dislikes I have. Do you want to get into our dislikes now?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
All right, so a couple of dislikes would just be that it's a French film. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeez, dude. 20% of me is sad now.
Oh, my God. I was just kidding. There's only, like, maybe one or... So, for me, the main ending, I would say, is kind of confusing. With the way that they have painted the picture of our entire main character and her, like, interest and investment, it just feels so out of, like, the ordinary for her to, like, almost kind of save the day. Because if it's true in that sense...
I agree, 100%.
If it's true in that sense, then we don't really ever see a portion of the film where she is like, oh man, this is like, I should do something to change this outcome and help. And
be the good guy.
Exactly. She just kind of is this weird, invested in the trial and even more invested in the dark net, to where so much she bids for one of the videos of the torture.
While gambling.
Yeah,
she gets the money while playing online poker at the last second. Yeah. I was like, I kind of like that they made her, one, a model, but then two, she's like a amazing poker player, and then it's like super into computers and Bitcoin. This isn't a real person, but I love that.
It actually made me want to start playing that like online poker game. I was like, man, I want to play this. Like the Zynga poker or whatever. Not a sponsor.
Dude, no, the gambling addiction's back. Let's go.
Anyway, so for me, the ending was weird. Also, the ending... Well, okay. The second issue that I have with it, it's not really an issue, but it's just curiosity. It's like, the movie makes it feel like we're in this, like, super futuristic kind of lifestyle. Like,
with her tech, her, like knockoff Siri thing.
Yeah, she has, like, a knockoff, like, Alexa or whatever. And now, all of a sudden, people are like, whoa... you have that like technology, but then like she all of a sudden has the technology to break into a house and just unlock the doors and all these different things, and I'm just like, what is going on? So
it kind of reminded me of like when you're watching a Black Mirror episode that feels too contemporary, but then it has a random super like futuristic thing, and you're like,
yeah. So it wasn't super dramatic in that form, but it was like it felt like
it
we were
breaks the
almost about to.
immersion, though.
Yeah, it felt like we were almost about to cross that bridge. So those were my only two dislikes. So I think, to be honest, this is a highly rated movie for me.
Yeah, I 100% agree with those critiques. I think with the tech thing, that took me out of the movie, especially when it becomes like part of the main plot and she's like, they're like spying on her. I don't think there was any, like, it seems like they're trying to explore the place tech has in this world of like crime and like obsession with killers and stuff. I don't know if it's fully explored the way it could have been. Even like the social media stuff, like I think it was kind of hinted at heavily and then just forgotten. And that didn't work for me. But I also do think the movie's a bit slow at times. Like there's a middle portion where it's like slice of life, like they're just having a good time. I don't think we needed that because the issue for me there is their relationship doesn't build to anything greater.
Yeah.
It's almost pointless. So I think if there's a little bit more something bigger there between the two of them, I don't know what, but
I mean, Clementine's character,
like, there was no blow up.
The reason why she leaves, but yeah, the separation of the two characters is super anticlimactic to where you're like, all right.
It felt like I was missing something. I was like, this is just like, it's so mundane, which I guess is fine if you're going for like a really realistic film, and this isn't super realistic. So I don't know. It's it took me out. I wanted them to fight or yell at each other at least.
I know, or something like they have like these cross morals, and then there should have been some sort of like great separation of like, okay, well now they're not, but they go their separate ways.
Yeah, like they're super chill about it, especially when she's like, "Oh, I just don't understand you." I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be like a whole we're gonna get a little bit more info here."
Yeah,
and we don't. So I feel like that was just like a writing issue.
Yeah,
with this one,
for sure. All right, cool. So what would you rate this out of 5 red rooms? How many red rooms would you give it?
3.5, man.
Oh, really? Okay.
Still a high rating for me.
I was going to say 4
It was
red
missing
rooms.
Something special for me.
I just like the exploration of it. And I think the ending was cool, but I think the characters really kind of like, yeah, I liked it. So I'm going to give it 4 red rooms out of 5.
That's good. That's good.
Sweet, guys. Well, okay, you can find this, we already said, on AMC and Shudder, or you can rent it. But guys, we are just getting started on Murder May/June. We're technically in June. So we're going to be talking about a couple more murder mystery movies. Well, maybe not so much mystery, but some thrillers and whatnot.
There's mystery aspects, yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, if you haven't yet, go like, subscribe, comment, share, follow us 5 stars on all of our social platforms. We're on wherever you can find a podcast, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Find us on the deep web.
Find us on the deep web. We have our own live there that we
got to get to us.
Anyway, guys, well, if you haven't, go share our content, go leave a comment and tell us what you want us to review and if you like this movie or not. So go watch it, let us know, and we will see you next week for another murder movie. Peace.
Peace, y'all. That's a clean slate.